question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bears and the Hawks, and it's coming up next.
Oh, trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And this will be a Bears first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Montgomery. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd down, it's Montgomery running right through him. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Going to give this time to the tailback. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. To throw is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bears take over. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard gain.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
All day, baby, let's go.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Oh, some strong running. And he's gonna get this down near the 20-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. You might get to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
From the gun, here's Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. A final shot before the break. Fields. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw for the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 43. Wilson gives to Collins, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Again, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
Here we go. Here
And
we
he'll
go.
go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move, 1st and 10. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's a first down run with Collins. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They go again with Collins. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll look to run with Dallas. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. DJ Dallas taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here comes Grant on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 139 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On first down, it's Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Being chased out left. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And he's got room. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On first down, it's Montgomery. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On second down now, it's Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. They'll run forward with Montgomery. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears have taken the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
He hits his target, Lockett. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Throwing now is Wilson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Wilson to throw. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's 2-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. Here's Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they don't get it. It's incomplete. They got the touchdown, could not, however, get the 2-point conversion to cap it, and they're still down by a pair. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost fell schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.